Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera, and in today's week we are going to do continuation of the QR code generator that we did last week. In that we just generated a QR code. In this we are going to not only generate the QR code but also going to decode it, that is read or interpret, or rather read the code that is contained or stored in the QR image. So let's get started. So let's get started with the code. So first and foremost, last time we imported Segno, this time we do with the library of QR code. So you have to install QR code. I've already installed here in my library, in my code editor. I'll be showing you later how to do it. So import QR code. Then after that, consider a variable image. Which is equal to QR code.make. That means you are going to make an image by using the make function like we showed last time, the same thing, and then it has to contain some data or a text. So I'm going to write a long text, slightly different from what I've done last time, just for fun's sake, just to make it a bit different. So hello world, welcome to the world of coding at edtech by Meera, something like that. You can write whatever you want. Like I said last time, you can also write the link to your video or your Facebook page or whatever you like. Maybe I will do another tutorial for that at a later stage. But this one, for the time being, for beginner's sake, I'm just keeping it very plain and simple by adding some text here. Yeah. So we are using the make function here to create the data and add it to our QR code, to add it to our QR code and storing it in the image variable. Yeah. And then after that, what else you require? Okay, after saving it, remember, you have to read it, because last time we just saved it and that's it. Our generator is ready. We get the QR code. But here we not only want to get the QR code, but we also want to interpret, or rather detect and then after that decode whatever is written there. So after we first, let's save it. So image.save, this I already showed in my last week's tutorial. Give it a name, image.save whatever, .png or .jpg. So I'm gonna save it like maybe edtech by Meera or meera.jpg, whatever. So let's call it like meera.jpg. Okay, and then okay, so what else I need to do? I need to use a detector. Now for that you need another library called OpenCV. So for that I need to, I'll be showing you how to install that later. So first inside the main.py, the Python main py, I import CV2 because that's part of the library OpenCV. So I import CV2. Then I can also save the image as edtech by Meera. That's up to you, whatever name you want to give. Yeah. Then image equals. So this is the image that we saved, remember. So this image equal to CVT. So I need to read in order to decode, right? So what I do is I have to use this imread function. In OpenCV, you need to use the imread function in order to read the data. So cv2.imread, and then as a parameter the name of the image, whatever be it, so the .jpg, .png, whatever. Yeah. In this case, whatever I have named. Then you also need a detector. This is all part of the OpenCV code method. So detector, you consider detector as a variable object which will use the QR code detector function in order to detect the data inside the QR code. So detector equals CVT. So that means it's assigned a value of CVT.QR code detector. Now this is already there as part of this the OpenCV documentation. I will leave the link to that page also in the description below. Okay, value points straight QR code. Now when you say value, it's a variable that will be storing the final output of the QR code. Yeah, and points is actually the optional output of the array of vertices of the QR code that is found as the result. Yeah, and straight QR code is actually the image with the output image with the QR code. So let's write all these parameters. So value point straight QR code equals detector dot, because detector you already created a variable above. So detector dot detect and decode. Parameter is obviously image, because that's what the image, the name of the variable you given to the image saved, right? So detector dot detect and decode image. This is also part of the method to decode. Then after that you run the file. That's it. Simple as that. So first you detect, then you decode using the code here. This is part of the installation, part of the OpenCV documentation. There you go. Hello all, welcome to the world of coding for beginners at your favorite channel, namely edtech by Meera. It's showing here. Now let's check so this is the output being shown that was fed into that was stored inside the QR code. So now let's take a look at the QR code, the image. Remember the QR code that we made last time? Okay. Okay, sorry, I didn't show you how to install the libraries because it was already installed while I was testing the code, sorry. Yeah? So pip install QR code, simple as that. Then it will actually install. So I'm just doing it second time to show you guys. This has to be done in the shell, the shell of your code editor, which is, I'm using the Replit code editor. It works exactly like your VS Code, very professional. So there you go, you can see it, environment updated, because I already updated, I'd already installed QR code, but I'm doing it just for your sake to show you how I did by doing pip install QR code inside my shell. Then remember, I also need one more library for the decode and detect, right? So that is OpenCV. So again, pip install OpenCV -python. So this will also kind of install the OpenCV, and so that I can import QR code and import CV2 accordingly. Import CV2 after installing QR code, import QR code after installing QR code, import CV2 after installing the OpenCV. There you go. So both are updated because I had already installed it earlier, so that's why I couldn't show you. Now let's take a quick look at the image, the QR code image. I had it earlier, but I had, in order to make it again and save some storage space in my code editor, I had deleted the image that I showed you last time, the edtech by Meera, and a couple of other images. So, okay, let's say I made it this now. It failed to load media file because I had deleted it after making it. So that's a lesson, big lesson I learned. Once you delete it, it's hard to make it again, show again. The data is showing, but the image is not showing. So what I decided is, I'm going to change the name of my image file. Then it will show up the value. So I'm doing that. Let's see. I go to my main.py and I'm going to change all the names of the images, image file. There you go. So instead of edtech by Meera, maybe I should call it like meera.jpg, some other name which has not been made earlier. So then it will create the image and it will show. So I'm doing that. So I just call it meera.jpg. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Much better. Because then it will create a new image file. Then no complications. So next time, remember, if you delete, it's hard to reproduce. You have to create again another one. There you go, meera.jpg. Ah, yes, you can see it now. There you go. You can see it now. By the way, you can also install in your dependencies page also. But I prefer to do it in shell, it's much easier. There you go. It's very loud and clear, the square QR code, meera.jpg. So I'll be doing a lot more other tutorials on Python. So do remember to smash that subscribe button if you want to move ahead in your Python bumpy journey. And also smash that bell button so that you get to know and you get to receive the weekly email notification of all my regular Python tutorials. Okay, I'm just changing the angle just in case you cannot see in the other square version, because I'm using my Android app, Replit app, in order to create the code and make the project. So even if it's not clear at this point, never mind, because I just did the last part to show in case the QR image was not visible to you in the vertical angle. So I just tilted it to show you the horizontal. So you can ignore the other things because I've already shown you before. This is just to show you the... So in today's tutorial, we finished learning how not only to generate a QR code, but also to decode it, detect and decode the text that is written inside the QR code. And last time we used the Segno library to generate the QR code. This time we use the QR code library. We installed that and I showed you how to install, and also we learned how to detect and decode it this time by using the OpenCV library, which also I showed you how to install in the shell of the code editor, which I'm using, that is REPL. It's the same as your other code editors, but much more useful for beginners. Yeah, and in my next tutorial, we'll be learning how to make or generate a customized form of QR code with colors, different background, and stuff like that. See you in the next. Stay tuned, stay subscribed. If you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button so that you get to see more of my Python beginner tutorials to have a stress-free Python journey. Fast code, so with source code, and also with lots and lots of project-based learning. Very stress-free. Just do it. Practice. Do it. Practice until you get it right. That's all. So, project-based learning is much more easier to learn Python, right? Do you agree with me? Say that in the comments below. I would expect your comments.